Welcome to another Lupo video. In the last part we changed the headlights. Today we need to change the interior heater. So I already put some cardboard in here and you can see what the problem is. This here is the interior fan. This here is where the air is going into the middle, and in the middle is the heat exchanger, and obviously you can see this is coolant. So coolant is everywhere here, and that's why the car is fogging up. So you can see the two connectors. So this is for the heat exchanger, this is to go in and to go out. I already removed this one hose, and I have such a metal connector here for both, so I just put them together, and then this will be like a short circuit basically. So there's no water going into the interior anymore. It can't leak into the interior anymore, but the heating or the cooling system still works as always. Okay, and now I basically put both pipes together, so there is no coolant going into the interior anymore. It can't leak into the interior anymore, and the rest of the cooling system works like always. It's just that it's a bit unfortunate that it's a bit kinked here, but I can improve the position a little bit and then it will be fine. So I want to show you the full extent of this amazing project. This is the dashboard. Here are all the parts that I took out. And the car looks like this right now. So the dashboard is out, the steering wheel is out, airbags obviously out. Here's the fuse box, so you really have to remove everything. Also the shifter and the center console. And you can see this is the climatization unit, which you also need to remove, so you can reach the slot for the interior heater. And you also need to remove the windscreen wipers, because you need to remove this upper cladding, which is above the windscreen wipers. I took out a little bit more things than I had to. So here is the intake for the interior. I also took out the mechanism for the windscreen wipers, so I can properly clean this whole area. And yeah, it's really a lot of stuff to do. So this is the climatization unit. This is where the fan sits. I took the fan out now to clean everything properly inside. And all of this was flooded with coolant, which then obviously goes into the carpets, and that's why I have this cardboard here. Luckily for me, I realized that problem very early. So it was happening while driving, so the windows were fogging up very quickly, and I could immediately see that there is coolant, and I just drove home and bypassed the interior heater, so there was not more water leaking into the interior, only the one that was left in the interior heater. And I also put in the cardboard pretty early, so it only came out on the passenger side and in the center console. But yeah, still it was a lot of dirt here, lots of stuff to clean. I can show you the slot here for the interior heater, and what you see here, the other heater, that's the electrical heater. And actually that is a big problem, because if you want to take this unit out, you have this massive ground cable here, and this one is I mean, we have to understand it's one of the first electrical heaters in such a climatization unit. We talk about a car from 1999, and there is no connector to avoid any problems. There's a lot of power going over these cables, so the cable is quite thick. There's no connector at this climatization unit. It's just directly connected to this interior heater, so I have to take the whole thing out, but it's also a bigger job to get this one out. And on the other hand, the other side of this cable is connected to a ground point somewhere deep underneath the carpet, which is then again more work to reach, or probably I could get it out, but it's really hard to get it back in, so I decided I just keep that unit in here. Although I already removed everything else, I was cleaning that unit here now, and now I will put it back. The good thing is, because everything is out now, we can pretty nicely see how such a simple air conditioning unit works in a car. So you have the air inlet, which comes from in front of the windscreen. This is where the car is sucking the air from. This flap here is actually deciding if you take air from outside or inside. So it's the recirculation flap. Then we have the fan. Then we push everything in here. And here in the center, it's been decided, or it's decided where the air goes next. So if you take the cool air and push it into the interior, or if you take this path and it goes through the interior heater and then the warm air comes out here. Pretty cool is you have these 3 cables here, and we can adjust our flap positions. So if you look at this, right now we are bringing all the air towards the passengers, which is this large flap, which is then connected to the dashboard you could see a minute ago. So if we change our settings here now, you can see how this flap towards the people is slowly closing. And the other flap, so this one here, is for the windscreen. And you can see how this one is opening now while I'm turning here. You can also see that because it's an old car, all this foam is coming off. This foam is there to avoid noise and to improve sealing, but all this stuff is coming off. Also here it doesn't really look great, but that's just the way it is with older cars. That's normal. It's a massive job to do all of this, but on the other hand, I'm always keep telling myself it would be much worse in my Phaeton. So I can be happy that this is quite a simple Lupo. It doesn't even have air conditioning, so you can easily take these parts out. You have no climatization system you need to open or something like this. And let's take a quick look at the dashboard. A couple of things I wanted to show you here. So this is the connector for the vents towards driver and passengers. And this goes in the center, and then here is our channel to the side and the channel to the other side. The dashboard is now lying here upside down, so this is the passenger side, this is the driver's side. Pretty cool to see is this vent here, and this is towards the windscreen. So the defrost vent, you can see how actually even these fixings here have an aerofoil shape. It's a super big vent, and it's not just coming out at our standard outlets, you can see here. There are even vents here. So you have a lot of these small vents which additionally help you to defrost the windscreen. And also here at the side, we have a double function. So the lower one is just the air towards the passenger, and the upper one is then directed on the side window. So to keep the area at the front of the side window clear, so you can see the mirrors. Here's one interesting part I wanted to show you. This is the air duct for the floor vents. So this is where the passenger gets warm air on their feet. And down here, this is where the driver gets warm air to the feet. So this is pretty much where the throttle pedal is sitting. And then interesting is that underneath here is another outlet, and here is something to close it. So why is there another outlet? Because you could extend it to somewhere else. So you could even have, for example, vents towards the rear, which the Lupo doesn't have, but if you want to, you can just open that. That is just a rubber piece here. You can just take it out. For the problem that I was having here with the interior heater, this is the lowest part, which means that water goes down here, and you can see how everything was getting wet. And I will properly clean this whole part now. And it's actually quite nice that there's something at the lowest part of this piece. So I can just take it out, and here should be most of the coolant. And I wanted to show you which actually caused this problem. This is the old interior heater, that is the new one. So the old one, you can see that it's pretty much broken down here. So you can actually see where it started to go wrong. It's just old. The car has been sitting for quite a while, and if there's no flow, nothing is circulating, a lot of rubbish is being trapped down here, and then it starts rusting or corroding inside, and at one point it starts leaking. It's not a big leak, but it's quite severe, as you could see what it can cause. So I bought the new one, There are a lot of different brands you can choose from. I chose Male, so it's one of the more expensive ones. It fits very well. You can also see how it's fit in the car. So you put it inside the slot and you fix it with 2 screws. Because all of that is underneath the metal structure of the car, you can only take it out if you take the whole dashboard out and also the whole climatization system. So if you pull it forward to reach these screws and to be able to pull it out. You can buy these things for €10. The more expensive ones are around €20. But since it's so much work to get it out, I said I will take a better part, or usually I always buy more premium parts for my cars. So I can show you this here. Here we have a protection, a plastic protection at the bottom, which the original one doesn't have. This is also the original one because of the production stamp. And also the net is slightly different. But yeah, this part around €20, not very expensive, but a lot of work to change it. And the dashboard is back in. Sorry for the noise in the background, but there's a 3D printer running at the moment. The good news is nothing broke, everything stayed intact, and actually a few things were not quite perfectly done when I took the thing apart. So I think someone removed the dashboard before, and the wiring loom and some of the holders were not in the right place. So I could put everything back to where it belongs. The only thing that I was a bit of annoyed by myself, or the only thing that broke, was that I accidentally scratched the magnesium wheel at the lower side a little bit, but only on the inner ring, and you can't see it now because the horn is on top, or the airbag is on top. But other than that, everything stayed intact, which was the main priority for this, because it's 26-year-old plastic and it's very likely to break. But I was impressed by how well this is designed and how extremely well everything is fixed. There's so many screws, and it's actually, if you know where these screws are, it's quite okay to work on it. So I'm going to show you how it looks like at the front. So I'm not completely done. The good thing is I could properly clean this area. Again, I did this already when I did the bigger service, but I could also clean the drain here on this side. The windscreen wipers are not fixed yet because I will take them out and make this part pretty as well. And other than that, I think it looks pretty nice now. Just look at this engine bay with the new nice lights now. So if you compare it to how everything looked like when I bought the car, it's a big improvement. I'm really happy about this now. And I still have my bypass here for the interior cooler, or for the interior heat exchanger. And you can see these 2 red connectors. So this is where the new interior heater has its connectors. I will fill it up with water, or with ionized water, and then connect it to the cooling system again, and the rest should bleed itself. And then we can do the first test drive. And another thing I realized when I was working on the car was that the biggest issue of old cars are rubber parts and these kind of foam seals, because I already removed a lot of the rubber hoses in the engine bay because they were brittle after 26 years. The other thing is that if you look at this AC unit, it sits in the perfect place now. It's exactly where it should be, but there is a gap of around, which is like a finger thick. And you can see that there used to be a seal around here, but that used to be a foam seal and it completely fell apart. And that's true for all these foam seals inside this AC unit. And that's why these AC units lose efficiency over time. So it's not just sucking from the air filter, it's also sucking here from the side. So I will tape that up. I put some additional seals here, but it's not long enough, so I will just tape this around here. So it only sucks air from the air filter again. But it's the same for all the other flaps inside this air conditioning unit. And the problem is then that sometimes it's even spitting some of these foam parts that were coming apart out of the vents. So this is just something you have to live with older cars, especially if you worked on it. But that's the way it is. So now everything is back together, and the nice thing about this whole project was that I could properly clean everything. There was even some mold in these storage areas here, because I guess there was some water standing there longer before, and the car was stationary for a very long time when I bought it. So I could properly clean everything, which you can usually not reach. I could also put all these things back in the correct place. And I already ordered a VW radio, so I can put it back in. I could also remove some of the wires a previous owner put in, so some additional wires, some fiddling around with the wiring loom here. I could remove all that and put it back to standard. And if we go around here, you can see that I could also clean the windscreen wipers properly. I was actually also painting them and cleaning the whole engine bay. So I was using this All Clean, which is really working well. You can find the link in the description if you're looking for a good cleaning product. It also smells very nice. And I used this tire dressing, so which is usually for making the tires nice and black and shiny. You can also use that for plastic parts, so they make them look like new. It's dark again, it's shiny, it's not greasy, so it doesn't really catch too much dust. But that's a nice engine bay. And yeah, also with the new headlights, it looks like new. Really like the look of the car. Everything works properly. I've done the test drive and it's heating really properly. It's nice and cozy in the car, although it's a 1.2 liter engine, this high efficiency engine. It's properly warm inside and yeah, really nice to drive the car again. So that's it. The Lupo's heater is finally repaired. The headlights are new and now we can continue to have fun with it. See you next time.